Tracking this big storm sitting off the coast of California, boom or bust? Well, there's a lot to unpack here as this storm system starts to make its way inland. I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods in California out of the capital city of Sacramento, and we're continuing to track this as we head even into our Tuesday evening. Most of the rain has been just along the coast and then moving through the northwest corner of California, still impacting parts of I-5, especially as we head northward towards the California-Oregon border. But this is just the first part of what will be a really big system. Earlier today, this is close to sunset, how things were shaping up region-wide towards Mount Shasta, the clouds hanging low with occasional light rain falling in Mendocino. And then as we head a little bit farther to the South Blue Canyon, some clouds making for that pinkish glow towards sunset in Lake Oroville. Really good numbers there out of Lake Oroville with some cloudiness, but overall no rain, especially on the east side of the state, as you can see with these rainfall totals since midnight, mostly affecting the coast here. With Santa Rosa close to about 4/10 of an inch, slightly over 1/4 of an inch for Ukiah, and just about 3/100 of an inch for that early morning commute in the Bay Area. But as we headed our way eastward, virtually no rain at all. Now, the interesting thing about this particular system is how much warm air is associated with it. We've got temperatures that have been above average since the weekend, hovering in the low to mid 70s. Good opportunity to get some stuff done, kind of clear out the storm drains, get the gutters cleared out, make some winter preparations, especially for the mountains where we are expecting snow to just come a little bit later. But there you see, Thanksgiving not too far away here. And it looks like we are in for a slightly warmer than average start next week as we gear up for that big holiday travel period. In the meantime, what does a warm storm mean for us? Well, temperatures will largely stay above average. And for the snow level, which is so critical, it will be above the passes, except for places like Monitor Pass, Sonora, Tioga, which tend to be a little bit higher. We'll periodically see that snow line drift a little bit lower there. Rain heavier at times as well. Warmer air can hold more moisture and can give a bigger punch to some of these systems. Here it is sitting off in the Pacific. You can see that counterclockwise circulation, but there we kind of have that fetch of warm air trying to move its way into this weather system. As it moves inland, we'll periodically see that snow line as high as about 8,500 feet. The active weather timeline playing out like this for the rest of the week. Wednesday, showers returning for the evening. Our snow line about 8,000 feet. For Thursday, chance of showers, snow level roughly about 8,000 to 8,500 feet. That's going to be well above the passes. Heavier rain and snow start to develop on Friday. Even a chance of thunderstorms as that colder air starts to work its way in. We'll see that play out as well on Saturday as that snow level starts to lower below the passes by Saturday evening. Even some lingering snow showers in the forecast for Sunday in the Sierra. But again, over the next roughly about 12 hours, we're mainly just going to be seeing some cloud cover throughout central California, with the showers not returning until late in the day on Wednesday. We'll see that rain mixed with snow just south of Highway 50 there near Kirkwood, all the way towards Yosemite along 395. Highway 88 getting in on some of that action as well. But it's going to be real spotty showers with, again, that main band of rain just holding off the coast through our Wednesday. Wednesday evening, our snow level about 7,800 feet. Donner Summit, by the way, is about 7,200, 7,300 feet. And then we look at Echo Summit, which is along Highway 50. That takes you right through South Lake Tahoe. Snow level will be about 8,200 feet, so well above the passes. Now, the good news there, those are main thoroughfares for a lot of trucking and a lot of visitors moving back and forth along those interstates as we move through the Sierra. And when we have that snow level above the summits, it makes for a lot easier travel. Don't have the snow chains on and you can move through. It's kind of slushy and not the best travel, but at least we're not impacted by the delays due to road closures and such due to spinouts and just high level impacts from snow. Thursday, our snow line goes up to about 8,300 to 8,500 feet. And then for Friday through Saturday morning, we're still at about 8,000 feet. Then by Saturday evening, that's when we start to see that snow level coming down. So if your travel plans take you anywhere in the Sierra over Friday into Saturday, be prepared for changing conditions and potential for chain controls heading our way by Saturday evening. That being said, there's not a ton of snow in this system. Even when we start to see that snow line coming down, we're still only totaling about 1 inch to 4 inches of snow. Most of that falling in Kirkwood, Bear Valley, Mammoth getting some pretty decent snowfall amounts there from this system. Given that it's so warm, we'll take anything that we can get, especially because we've got some of those resorts still trying to open here. As far as total rainfall, it is going to be really light until we get into Friday and Saturday. Then we'll start to see those numbers going up to about 0.3 of an inch to almost 1 inch of rain, especially towards the coast where we're really expecting the brunt of the storm to be fairly significant. Again, Wednesday morning is a dry morning commute. Periodically through the afternoon, we'll see bands of rain coming through, with the biggest bulk coming through late on Wednesday through early Thursday. Thursday morning's commute's kind of iffy with some showers hit and miss right along I-5 and Highway 99 and then through the 80-50 corridor. Mother lode also getting in on some of that rain, but largely a rain event all the way through Thursday evening for the Sierra. And again, hit and miss showers just continuing through at least the early part of the evening. And then again, we get this pocket of dry air coming in for a dry morning commute on Friday. But wow, do things change during the afternoon. Here comes the brunt of the storm. It's looking more likely this is going to be Friday evening through Saturday. Now, this is also the time frame that we see that colder air work in, helping to add some instability to this storm. It'll bring us a chance of thunderstorms, but also a lowering snow line, putting less pressure on all of that water coming down the hill. Right now, it's not looking like we're going to see a big flooding event, but it's something that we'll be watching for how much rain is kind of moving its way due to gravity down from the Sierra into the lower elevations of the valley. Again, overnight is when we start to see that snow line coming down. But it is the final countdown here into Thanksgiving. We're 9 days away from that big travel period. Winter solstice, 37 days away, 41 to Christmas Day, and 48 from ringing in the new year. With all of that comes the recreation that we love in the winter for the Tahoe Basin all the way into Mammoth for the Central Sierra. Ski area projected openings. We've got Mammoth already opening, as well as Mount Rose. Those typically are some of the first to open. They just happen to have a higher elevation and just quite frankly have more snow typically throughout the year, especially Mammoth. Heavenly and Boreal, November 17th, then Palisades Tahoe, November 22nd, North Star, November 17th. Once we get into December, we've got Kirkwood, Sierra Tahoe, Homewood, and Bear Valley, all expected to open. Now, we say projected openings because Mother Nature has to cooperate, and it's looking like we're likely going to be warmer for Thanksgiving week. Not necessarily the worst case scenario, and likely drier as well. It'll be good travel weather. And if you're having people over, it's always so nice to be able to kind of open up the doors and let people have some time outdoors as well, or even that walk after the big Thanksgiving dinner. But when we expand the view to the entire United States, it's a bit of a different story. You know, we've been stuck in this rainy kind of on and off pattern here throughout the state of California. That is going to shift its way over to the east with a likely wetter setup heading into Thanksgiving week for much of the central and eastern United States. Something to watch if your travel plans take you into that part of the country. All of this going on in the background, we still have El Nino brewing. Sea surface temperatures, especially for the equatorial Pacific, as you can see right here in the red and kind of that maroon color, indicating that they're well above average and confirmed. Strong El Nino is in place right now. That confirmation coming last week as we looked at some of those weather models. So the pattern continues through the spring. The strong El Nino period will be right through some of the wettest months that we see in California, that being December, January, and February. It has happened, though, that we've seen these strong El Ninos and really just fizzled in terms of how much rain and snow we brought in. So this is the typical pattern. It doesn't mean that this is absolutely going to be happening, but something we'll be watching. A wetter than average Southern California, kind of in between for Central and Northern California. Warmer than average through the Pacific Northwest, but this could have large impacts for recreation as well. Looking at our atmospheric rivers, what started off as being potentially a pretty good atmospheric river coming through Central California has now kind of fizzled out here in terms of its atmospheric river signature. So it will start to pull in. It came out of the Gulf of Alaska. It will start to pull in heading into our Friday and Saturday. But you can see a better signature going on here as we look towards the Pacific Northwest into next week. More of that tie into the Pacific waters and more of that subtropical feature feeding into that system coming into next week. Travel plans take you into the Pacific Northwest. That is a storm to certainly watch. Highs for tomorrow in the Sierra will be in the 50s. As we head through the foothills, we're looking at highs in the 60s to near 70. Another warm day for us in Northern California. 60s along the coast for the Bay Area and for many of those coastal communities as well. Even some 70s for the South Bay. Highs in the 60s for the Central Valley. We'll start off with morning lows in the 40s. And again, it's all about this on and off rain and snow event as we look at the 5-day forecast region wide. If your travel plans take you to the coast, be prepared for rain at least through Saturday. If your travel plans take you into the Sierra, be prepared for rain mixed with snow. Looking at our 10-day forecast, we get through this weather event here and then everything starts to dry out. Quite warm early next week. And then for Thanksgiving Day, a high of 64 with partly cloudy skies. Just absolutely picture perfect. Even for the big shopping day on Friday, highs will be in the 60s with dry weather as well. Be sure to download that ABC 10 Plus app on our Roku. We've got it on Apple TV and Fire TV. With our weather extras, you'll get in-depth forecasts just like the one that you're watching right here, as well as our weather specials, mega flood, water wasted, and our California drought series. It's always on, it's live, it's local, and we give you forecasts just like this.